What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft and how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, despite the fact that Donald Trump put a 90-day pause on tariffs, ships are still canceling their routes to the U.S. So it is not making a difference. See, the pause was supposed to continue to bring the ships in with supplies. Well, even with the pause, a lot of them are canceling and they're not coming at all, which of course is going to be bad news for the US. It's already bad enough, with the empty shelves that some people already see. But this now coming out that all these cancellations are happening. See, instead of trying to convince us of all these false white genocides that are going on, this is what you should be talking to the American people about. President need to learn how to get his priorities right. Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Ships are canceling crossings to U.S., and Trump's new 50% EU tariff threat isn't likely to help. The spotlight is back on U.S. supply chains after President Trump threatened new EU and smartphone tariffs. The spotlight was back on U.S. supply chains heading into the Memorial Day weekend after President Donald Trump threatened a straight 50% tariff on the European Union and at least a 25% levy on iPhones and other smartphones made abroad. Trump said in an early social media post that he was considering putting the new EU levy in place as soon as June 1st because talks with the European Union are going nowhere. That took the stock market down another notch and left all three major equity market indexes, SPX minus 0.67%, DJIA minus 0.61%, COMP minus 1.00% with big weekly losses. Trump doubled down Friday afternoon on the EU threat and added that not only Apple Inc., AAPL, minus 3.02%, but Samsung 005930 minus 0.91%. And anybody making smartphones abroad would be hit with his 25% tariff, likely in late June. This new chapter in the hot and cold Trump trade wars comes as shipping activity from China to the U.S. has fallen significantly, despite early optimism around a potential second wave of tariff front-loading after a U.S.-China pause on some tariffs for 90 days, agreed to earlier in May. Torsten Slok, chief economist at Apollo Global Management, said on Friday that any shipping rebound from China doesn't look to be materializing yet, pointing to container ship data that update on an intraday basis. Furthermore, prices to ship goods by sea aren't suggesting a global boom in demand, with the Baltic Exchange's dry bulk sea freight index around 1,340 on Friday, below its 1,763 average, according to Bloomberg data. A possible explanation for the drop in China-US shipping might be that American companies simply aren't ready to jump back in with new orders, Slock told MarketWatch, especially against a backdrop in which tariff policies can shift at any moment. Companies also might have stockpiled enough inventory to last a while, so there may be less need for new orders, he said, or container ship traffic could be coming to the U.S. through other countries. Cargo activity at the Port of Los Angeles reinforced the trend of U.S. front-loading inventory from China, a popular theme in first quarter earnings reports. But there has yet to be a flood of ships coming into the port from elsewhere in Asia. Activity at the LA port was up about 9.5% in April from a year ago, said Gene Soroka, executive director of the Port of Los Angeles, in a May 19th briefing. That was part of a 10-month trend of straight yearly growth, as many retailers looked for a last push of cargo before tariffs took hold. But in May, the picture has grown grim, with 17 out of 80 expected sailings for the month canceled, followed by another 10 cancellations for June, according to Soroka. Bookings from Singapore, Hong Kong, and other ports were starting to pick up, Soroka said, but higher levies already in place in 2025 have crushed U.S. agricultural and manufacturing exports and likely will prevent a surge of incoming activity at the LA port. What probably comes out of this are lower inventory levels across the board, less selection for American consumers, and maybe higher prices, he said. The cost to reroute Slock has been warning investors that tariffs could keep inflation pressures elevated and do more damage to American companies and the economy than the swift rebound in stocks since the April lows might suggest. Equities surged after the U.S., and UK outlined a new trade deal in early May, which included 10% tariffs. Companies, while grappling with tariff uncertainty, delivered mostly positive first quarter earnings but warned of pain to come. Okay, y'all. Yeah, the stock market is not doing well because of Donald Trump's tariffs. That's really the root cause of why things are always tanking. So now with this additional news that I'm sure a lot of people were not anticipating, since, believing the pause would kind of stop things from, not making it here and it would make it here. Well, that's not the case at all, y'all. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.